are driven by the finer things. I see more than materials and wealth. What have you got to give to me? What I don't already give myself. You are driven by. What have you got to give to me? What I don't already give myself. Hello, didn't see you there. My name is Sydney. Welcome to a new episode of Illuminated DiiSCLAIMER, and I hope you're finding beautiful, fantabulistic ways to illuminate your own path. Now today, this came spurred on by just speaking to people and teaching mainly, and I thought to myself, how do I portray myself to the masses? How do I want to show my confidence? How can I make people more endeared to me? How can I help people help themselves? And it came down to two very important words that I learned, especially if you come from someone who wants to improve their social standing. If you want to be better with social interactions, maybe you're attracted to someone, mastering this can actually help you significantly if you're trying to get out there. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about body language. Now, I'm just going to go over this again because I did it. A-G-E. Spelled language a bit wrong, but the marker I had didn't work properly. So I'm talking about body language today, and I'm going to be spending a few minutes just going through a few things that helped me achieve more of a body image that I wanted, you know, when it comes to non-verbal cues. Okay, now non-verbal cues is a small significant portion of the other things that you do, and a lot of these things might be hand motions or what you do when you're speaking to someone, and even the way you say it. But we're going to be focusing on the body language point of view. And basically, a brief backstory: I used to be very shy, shoulder hunched, used to scrape my shoes on the floor, didn't have my chest out. So before I even spoke to someone, they didn't see the confidence, and subconsciously they didn't believe that I had the confidence to talk to them in the right way. So I realized a lot of people who could have been potential partners did not see me as that because I didn't portray to them that I was interested or even available. So I spent the last few years in particular trying to perfect my body language, and in a lot of psychological tips, and just thinking to myself, how can I be that person who people will just be like, have respect for immediately, will have trust for immediately, will come to me with their problems immediately. So some of the things that I will talk about today, hopefully it does help you, but if not, please write in the comment section. If you want more videos like this, please let me know, and say while you're doing it, like and subscribe, and that'll be absolutely amazing. First thing I did was, this is going to be very difficult for some people. Eye contact. Now, with eye contact, it shows somebody who you're talking to, your engagement to their conversation. Now, if you're looking around a lot constantly, then someone might feel that you're disinterested in the conversation and might lose interest in themselves as a result. Now, I'm saying this because I used to be one of those people just looking around, and I was always aware of the situation. I didn't like looking at people dead in the eyes. Like, I was even taught from a young age that staring at someone for long periods of time is rude. I kind of realized though that to be the person I wanted to be, I needed to keep more eye contact because I wanted to command the conversation. I wanted to command the room. The best way to do that is just to lock eyes with people so you can show them that you are very comfortable with where you are. If you're uncomfortable, you might not give eye contact, but when you do feel more comfortable, you give more striking eye contact. Okay? That's why when some people try to intimidate you, they look at you a certain way and continue staring. So if you don't feel like you can give good eye contact when you're speaking to someone, look at their nose. You don't necessarily have to look at their eyes. You can look at their mouth, you can look at other features of them, but if you want to portray that you are giving them eye contact, look at their nose instead of their eyes, and a lot of the time people will even notice. So that's a quick tip, but prolonged periods of eye contact is very good. And if you're thinking, Sydney, how did you get to that point where you can give consistent eye contact? I realized that I made a conscious effort, I made an active effort. I was like, I want to be that person who stares at someone, and I don't want to be the person who looks away first. And I started doing it, especially started doing it with management meetings, when I went to interviews, just to feel that power, because sometimes you just look at someone for ages and then they look away, and then you feel like, wow, you know what? Maybe I've got more confidence in this thing, but trust me, this other person's going to think that you have loads of confidence too. Okay, so don't close yourself off. Now, from a body language perspective, this is guarding yourself. Now, a lot of people guard themselves for several reasons. Sometimes I just like fidgeting with things. You know, I wear rings. Sometimes I play with them as well. But to a lot of people, they might just see that you're blocking yourself, you're guarded, which otherwise means that you don't feel comfortable in the situation. So, if you are in a situation where you do appear to feel blocked off, sometimes it's just good to change. Like this, for example, or put your hands down there, or sometimes you can just soothe yourself, or rub your hands around. But sometimes when you guard yourself, some people might feel that you don't feel interested in them. Now, this is just basically just looking at someone from a physiological point of view and just saying, okay, they they're guarding, they feel a perceived threat. So although it's difficult, sometimes as you can see I'm still playing with this pen, it's always good to ensure that you are mindful of these things, because once you're mindful of these things, then you will know what feels right for you. You'll start making change, or you'll keep things the same. But the most important thing is to be mindful of what you're doing. Now what I want to talk about is gestures. 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 Now gestures are basically things I'm doing, things that show you're interested in something. So when you speak to someone and you want to speak articulately, the best thing for you to do sometimes is just to show your hands and just talk with your emotions. If you go like this, it shows that you're trying to show somebody something. Find a way to keep on doing your gestures, and do it in a way where, if you're a storyteller, for example, you use your hands just to say, man, this thing was so big. This thing, it felt sharp, I told this person to go that way. And it gives you a new dimension of what you're saying, and it also helps you to become more convincing. I remember looking at my videos in the past when I was doing some editing and the sound was off. But I could just tell that I didn't know what I was saying, but because of my hand gestures, it felt very interesting and engaged. I was just watching myself saying, I wonder what I'm talking about. But I think I was just talking about, people like liking and subscribing my videos. And because I was using my hands and talking, I felt like I was telling the story with my hands. And a lot of people aren't there to that, especially people in interviews, because they feel that that brings a lot of strong, confident body language when you just command yourself. It's all about commanding. You're not scared to just express yourself in more than just a vocal type of way. Okay, so I'm going to talk probably one or two more. Strong body contact is, this is something that some people do sometimes. It's called mirroring. Now, if you're speaking to someone, let me set the tone. You've gone on a date with someone, everything's going well, and you're talking to them, you're having a nice deep conversation. Now, one way that you can bring more attraction into that conversation is if you slowly copy what this other person is doing. It's called mirroring. It's a good principle. And someone might, start scratching their head or stroking. You could do the same thing. And you realize that subconsciously you both are doing the same thing. Now, if you actively do it and this person's doing it, they might feel more drawn to you. But also conversely, if you're doing something and someone's copying you, that means that subconsciously they're copying you, which does show a level of attraction. So you can try these things next time you go out or you speak to someone who you like or have an attraction to, and you can test the theory out. Because who knows? Who knows? You might just actually look at this person who touches their lips when you touch your lips, and you might actually find out that a line that they liked you all along. You just don't know, but it's something to try, and it's something that I've tried before. And sometimes I just, make sure that when I mirror, I kind of see their reaction afterwards and observe it, because sometimes it does work, sometimes it doesn't work, but it works for me a lot of times. Now, one more thing I want to use when it comes to good body language is now My brother Kurt will be like, head movement, but leaning in and head movement. Now, back to that scene where we were in before, when we were talking about a partner. When you start throwing your head in and start nodding and using your head in a movement, it shows that you are interested with what they're saying without even saying a single word. Now imagine this, you're in a conversation and you're telling someone about something that you're going through. If they start leaning in and nodding and listening while you're talking, you will even question it. You'll know that they are listening, they're tuned in, they feel super present and super aware. So once you realize that what they're doing is making you feel comfortable and making you at ease to speak more, what do? You sneeze just like I did. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your continued love and patience. And please check out everything. Please like and subscribe and share to your friends. And yeah, follow me on Instagram, follow me on LinkedIn as well. And look at my website. See what I do and follow the dream. Take care and find new ways to illuminate your path. Wonderful.